Just 3 days ago, he was living a life of luxury as the authoritarian leader of Venezuela. But Nicolás Maduro tonight, restrained in shackles, alongside his wife, Celia Flores, arraigned in New York on federal charges, including narco trafficking. Inside court, a defiant Maduro pleading not guilty and telling the judge, "I'm innocent, I'm a decent man, I'm still the president of my country." When the judge asked Maduro to confirm his identity, the deposed leader spoke at length. "I am Nicolás Maduro, the constitutional president of the Republic of Venezuela. I am a prisoner of war." Flores, appearing with bandages on her face, also pleading not guilty. The U.S. case features a mountain of evidence accusing Maduro of personally overseeing a criminal enterprise flooding the U.S. with thousands of tons of illegal drugs, including using the Venezuelan military to protect drug shipments and handing out diplomatic passports to give traffickers immunity. Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche with Tom tonight.
How are you going to tie Maduro to all of this?
He's been indicted by a grand jury in New York for the second time. I mean, to be clear, what this 2025 indictment showed is that the conspiracy that was alleged up through 2020 when he was indicted the first time just didn't stop.
Maduro and his wife were captured after President Trump approved a complex U.S. military mission involving 150 aircraft and 20 bases. All of it similar to the U.S. invasion of Panama in 1989, when President George H.W. Bush sent U.S. troops to arrest dictator Manuel Noriega after he was indicted for narco trafficking. In court today, Venezuelan Pedro Rojas shouting at Maduro, "You will pay." He told us under his regime he was a political prisoner.
Before 2019, these guys is prisoner in Venezuela. Me too. You know how? Yeah, 4 months. Nicolás Maduro. You know, innocent.
Tonight, with stepped-up security at Colombia's border with Venezuela, this region is bracing for the unknown.
This family just came over the border crossing. That man, clearly emotional, did not want to speak on camera. I asked him what he thought of this weekend's events, and he seemed to be overwhelmed. It's a very emotional time. Didn't want to talk politics at all because he still has family members inside the country.
On the streets of Caracas, a cautious calm. Some stores opening, armed security agents on patrol. We're looking for peace in Venezuela and tranquility, this man says, and for the U.S. to respect our Constitution.
There is massive uncertainty, not just in Venezuela, but here in Colombia. Overnight, President Trump ramping up his criticism of this country's president.
Run by a sick man who likes making cocaine and selling it to the United States, and he's not going to be doing it very long.
And as for a potential U.S. operation inside Colombia,
it sounds good to me.
President Gustavo Petro has repeatedly denied drug trafficking allegations, his government responding that Trump's actions were contrary to the norms of international law. Across Latin America, both condemnation of the U.S.'s actions and gratitude in places like Argentina and Chile. These women who live in Venezuela told us they're planning to stay and hoping for calm.
What do you think of President Trump? ¿Qué piensa del presidente Trump?
He's very determined, she says, and he knows what he's doing.
Entonces, ¿tú estás de acuerdo?
Tonight in Venezuela, Delcy Rodriguez, a Nicolás Maduro loyalist, sworn in as his successor with Maduro's son in attendance. But it remains unclear who's really in charge. President Trump's adamant it's the U.S.
I'll give you an answer and it'll be very controversial.
What does that mean?
It means we're in charge.
Secretary of State Marco Rubio earlier saying the U.S. will not govern the country.
Well, it's not running, it's running policy.
But instead will enforce its existing quarantine on Venezuelan oil to exert control over the country until an election is held.
They will continue to face pressure from the United States.
Immediately after Maduro's capture, Rodriguez defiantly accused the U.S. of an illegal kidnapping. But amid this warning from President Trump, if she does not meet U.S. demands,
she will face a situation probably worse than Maduro.
Now Rodriguez with a more conciliatory tone, saying, "We invite the U.S. government to collaborate with us on an agenda of cooperation." And President Trump says American oil companies whose facilities were seized by Venezuela's socialist government will start rebuilding them. All of it after Mr. Trump campaigned against foreign intervention.
Our current strategy of nation building and regime change is a proven absolute failure.
But the president insists this is not nation building.
We're in the business of having countries around us that are viable and successful and where the oil is allowed to freely come out because that's good. It gets the prices down. That's good for our country.
The Trump administration noting former President Biden had placed a $25 million bounty for Maduro's arrest.
That's the difference between President Trump and everybody else. President Trump did something about it.
Still, Democrats tonight are slamming President Trump's actions as illegal and dangerous.
The future of the Venezuelan people should be determined by the Venezuelan people, not by Donald Trump, Pete Hegseth, or Stephen Miller. Are you kidding me?